Welcome back to Bet on the Bounce. My name's Dobby, and this is Dos. And Dos, you defeated your most famous of foes.
I did. I got a win over the haters this week.
Yeah,
Or last week.
last week.
I
I don't think it will make them quit.
No, I don't think they'll quit.
They won't slow down.
They were down.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
You silenced them a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more silent.
A couple of them did all right. Just missed out by only like a few little things.
Yeah.
But other than that,
but they only won the one bet.
Yeah.
They only won the one bet, so couldn't have done too well. But you had a few winners. How'd you go?
I had four winners, and I had a couple near misses. I had the North. I thought the North game. I had them to win.
You had North to win. Oh yeah.
And then Caleb Daniel got his 20, but they ended up losing by 3 points. But I thought they were the better team for 3 quarters at least.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
Apart from the first.
I can't stand Kane Corns' takes and him just being a flog through this whole thing, so I was really hoping they were going to win. What winners did you get?
I got Geelong to win, Bailey Smith 25 and Max Holmes to 20. That came in pretty easy.
Pretty easy?
No, the Geelong game. I was a bit nervous watching the Geelong game.
Yep.
I actually wasn't nervous with about 4 minutes to go.
No, but three...
And then I got nervous.
Yeah. They were $3.40 live at three-quarter time.
Who?
Geelong.
Geelong, yeah.
They were down by 7 points and the $3.40 odds. So that was just... I was just like, that's insane value.
And then they...
Dominated the first 10 minutes of the last quarter.
Yeah, they got back out to like a 15-point lead or something like that, mainly off the back of Patrick Dangerfield, who had one of the last quarters for the ages.
Yeah, 13 and a goal. He was a freak, bro.
Just no one could tackle him, just getting the ball out. I thought Bailey Smith was excellent again. Just covering the ground. And then, I don't know what happened in the last 3 minutes. Just
a blur.
Yeah, Myercheck took a contested mark and there's a goal square.
Schultz kicked a goal and they didn't allow it.
I think Blitzarv's got a fingernail.
I don't know how the AFL has a shitload of money and the two frames we get are here.
Yeah.
And then here. There's a whole meter of the ball coverage that we don't get to fucking see. Insane. They have Nokias in the goalpost.
Hotspot.
They do need hotspot would actually be really good. Like, we can see it's gone past, but his thumbs.
Yeah, his fingernail would have a white dot in it.
Yeah. And what other winners did you get?
I had Melbourne Demons, and then I changed my bet to Harvey Langford after Clayton Oliver was laid out, and he got 20 disposals there pretty easily. Mm-hmm. And then I had Ash for 25, Heaney for 20 and a goal. I'm pretty sure he kicked the first goal of the game.
That was very easy.
Pretty happy there. And then Hawks 25 plus, Voston and Sicily 20. 4
wins in a row, by the way.
They were in a row, yeah.
Yeah. So coming off a hot streak. Yeah, It's really good when the goal scorer you have kicks the first one. Happened to me with Kennedy like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, I was basically counting the money. The disposal getters, just do your job, boys. I had the worst week I think I've had so far this year, and I kind of knew it got into the round that my bets didn't feel as great. Like I went to AFL fantasy points too much, which fell short a lot of the time. I got Dacos 100 plus fantasy points, so that was my one win. He got 101. You had 101, so yep, not a great week, but I am very confident this week I turn this back around. Like, I'm still on the positive. I'm gonna get all that money back this week. My bets are the best they've been. We've gone off the worst week. We're bouncing back into the best week. But the DOS haters, same as me. Really, we basically had the same week that they had a few close misses, but some of them just weren't close at all. They only had the one win, which was...
I think it was the Hawks one. Oh, no, it was
the same game as yours.
Swans,
it was
Swans
Green
Giants.
30, Ash 25, Roberts 20, Heaney 20, which was a very similar bet to your bet. So no surprise that both of them got up. But
Green for 30. Did he get that?
Yeah, he got that. He got 30.
I thought he was getting tagged. Didn't you say he was getting tagged?
Yeah, he got tagged.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you have? Unders?
Yeah, I had unders.
But weird he got tagged and still had 30-something.
Yeah, that is weird. That's an anomaly.
Maybe
really.
It's because James Jordan was playing at Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah, it could have been that. It probably was that.
Yeah.
But it could have been anything, really. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't see the whiteboard pre-game, so it could have been anything. I don't know. we have to go into next week. Looking at the leaderboard, I'm up still in the 200s. You know the leaderboard, you have a little slither where you're back you're back on the leaderboard. And the haters in the same week have maxed it out.
Yeah, they maxed it out.
At $506, $508. They're down. So yeah, not a good look. DOS haters, or the guests, as a whole are officially last. But this week we have Hawthorn.
No more thanks to the DOS haters because of that.
What do you mean?
I think the guests aren't going to be happy with DOS
the guests are not going to be happy. And speaking of, we have Hawthorn Talk this week as our guest punter. So your team, representing your team, Hawks, you got to be keen on their bets here. Because hopefully at the end of the year we'll have a ladder that shows all our guests and how they went, and Hawthorn Talk have provided the goods and an absolute mega multi. Get your daily reading in, getting this one read out. But I'll get us into the first game with my team. It's Fremantle $1.84 to Collingwood $2 odds. The odds have completely switched today.
Yeah.
With the outs for Collingwood, the line is 1.5. With that one, the outs is a very big reason why I placed the bet that I have. DeGoey's out, who loses midfield time. He was playing like 35% centre bounce. Pendlebury, who's played a lot of centre bounce this year, he's also not playing. So, who has to go in? I see Ned Long just playing more midfield time than he already is. So, 20 at $1.70 or whatever it is, him to go again. And Perryman, 15 plus, he played centre bounce for opening round and round one. So, I just see him doing more of that. $2.85. Perryman 15, Long 20. So just for them to get more centre bounce time, get more footy. That's it really. What do you got?
I've got Sarong 25, Clark 20, and Freo to win.
Freo win?
Yeah.
You think did you watch them play on the weekend?
I did, but Sarong and Brayshaw didn't really have the best game. They were just smashed around the footy, but I'm going with Freo because they're going back over to Perth and they're going to get a big rev up, I reckon, for that
they have
performance. And also because of the outs that Collingwood have to start managing now.
Yeah, and we only have...
And there's a 5-day turnaround. It's a Thursday night game and you guys played on Saturday night against Geelong.
Yeah,
in a 3-point game. So I reckon...
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
A few tired legs out there.
Yeah, so my check also missing. So Membry with no mixed day. Membry's the big one down there now. So it's his first time where he's like just the big forward all by himself. I'm assuming Cox will stay in to play against both rucks because they have two rucks.
Yeah.
So he'll probably have to play forward, him and Darcy Cameron. But yeah, Freo win. I'm not sure. I'm obviously hoping Pies win, but I'm not too sure what's Hawthorn kicked us off with. No, yeah, what were you going to say?
I'm just accounting for all the they've got to travel to Perth now after a 5-day turnaround, and it was a hard game.
Yeah, a whole day of travel into that. Yeah, you get one training set. You get a recovery day and one training session. You're back into your next game over in Perth. Doesn't help.
No, Hawthorn Talk has gone Brayshaw 25 plus, Clark 20 plus, and Jack Crisp, the unlucky man, from Saturday night for 15 plus.
So they've gone Brayshaw instead of Sarong like you have.
Yeah, and he's got that for $2.05.
So pretty similar bet to yours.
Yeah.
This game's going to be pretty interesting, I think. They're two pretty average fucking teams.
Yeah. I was looking at this one before. I didn't really know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I think Carlton could be a false favourite here at $1.62. And St Kilda are playing $2.30, the line being 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I've left the head-to-head out of it just because I don't know which way it's going to go.
Yep.
And I've gone Jack McRae, Sam Walsh, and Wanganeen Miller for 25 disposals each at $3.30.
Just the big dogs
just those three.
To get big touches.
I think McRae had 38 on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a shitload on the weekend. A heap of it. They absolutely destroyed Freo in the midfield. On the midfield ball. Nzaya Wanganeen Malero has just been so consistent.
He's been consistent this
I'm not sure
year.
if he's had a bad game yet.
No, I don't think so.
And
Walsh? I think his lowest was 20, 22 or 23 disposals.
Yeah, and you can't be too upset with that, and probably in a flogging loss. And you got what odds did you have for that?
330.
Yeah, I actually was very confused with this game as well, so I just went like a Sam Walsh over 27.5. $1.90 for that. His last 3 games against the Saints, he's had 33, 38, and 32, so he just gets a whole lot of like easy footy on the outside. They both don't really allow contested possessions. They just kind of butt heads in the middle. It's going to be who can get on the outside quicker, and the Cripps will be in there, Hewitt will be in there, and I think Walsh will just get easy touches. So yeah, he said 33, 38, and 32 in the last 3. So over 27.5 $1.90 is just simple, really. I would be surprised if he doesn't get over that. I think it's a pretty easy line for him to get over. And then Hawk Talk have McRae 25 plus, like you, Nazai Wanganeen Malira for 20 plus instead, and Chera for 20 plus. So again, very similar bets. Very similar bets. So you're both either going to get a fair few winners here or have a pretty rough week. But yeah, they're going pretty simple in their bets. Like they've gone $2.05, $2.10 for their first few. Yeah. They stay in the twos
until the mega multi. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, get us into the next game, which we have 3 buys in a row for Hawthorn. That's incredible. I heard today that after this round, they would have played every single team between 11th and 17th. Every team they've played is now the teams are between. They've played every team between 11th and 17th. So they've had some easy ones the last few, but they've been getting them done. It is Melbourne Demons $3.90 to Hawthorn $1.26. The line's 23.5. Yeah, for this one, I know Amon was out, but I still think this is a game that lines up really well for Impey. I've gone Hawks win because I just think like they literally just win this game. If they don't win this game, it's just they're playing easy teams. These are the wins they need to get out of the way if they're going to be genuine contenders. Because they lose this, then people start to go, they frauds. Impey 20 plus, Hawks win $3.84. I just think that was value in taking Impey $3 for 20 disposals. That's what he was. I just think that was value, especially against Demons that don't defend very well against those easy disposal halfbacks, like we saw with Jaden Short that I got on for 25 a couple of weeks ago. So $3.84 for that. What do you got?
I've gone Massimo D'Ambrosio for 20, Ed Langdon for 20, Hawthorn to win, and Jack Ginnivan anytime goal scorer for $4.20. And I know D'Ambrosio has been pretty quiet this year, but I feel like on the weekend, I think he was our best player on the weekend.
Yeah.
30 and 2 goals.
No one watched that game, bro. I have no idea. No one watched that game.
And I thought he's probably our best player on the ground. And then he went forward as well. Sam Mitchell put him forward in the last quarter.
Yeah. And
that's where he kicked his 2 goals, but he was pretty much everywhere. So I'm going for 20.
Yeah, they probably need to treat him kind of like a Will Day. While they don't have Will Day.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of needs to be the one who runs the ball through the middle and has the legs and kicks a few goals and score involvements.
I thought he was back to what he was last season on the weekend, which is pretty good. And then Langdon, gone for 20. He's been playing more on ball.
Unbelievable. I would never have put a bet on Langdon in my life until this year.
Yeah.
This is, like, he's actually peaking right now, which is insane. Because he's been, like, high to mid AFL player.
He's just been on the wing for the last however many years.
Yeah.
And decided this year to put him.
He's probably as good as he was like 6-7 years ago when he was actually around their premiership season. He actually was really good.
On the wing he was,
yeah.
There was he wasn't getting subbed off like at all. Like he wasn't like having interchanges.
No.
He was just playing the whole game.
Running. Yeah. Unbelievable.
And then we got Hawthorn Talk in here. He's got Warpool 20, Amon 20, Track 20, and again following me with the Ginnivan goal. $2.50 on that one.
You actually all linked up. Like there's a link between all your bets.
Yeah.
Imagine if you can go through every single leg. I guess we'll find out on the way. But the next game here. Oh, this should be an interesting one. This will actually find out who's actually any good, because if you lose this game, it's pretty well set in stone. You're no good at footy.
Yeah, we got Sydney $1.59 favourites against Essendon, paying $2.36. The line's only 8.5 in this game, and I've gone Swans to win and Chad Warner for 25 disposals at $3.50, and I just don't think Essendon have it. There's no Essendon edge anymore.
No, I don't know what it is, but they don't have it.
And
Brad Scott, by the way, is just not a good AFL coach. I don't know what Dean Cox is like, but I don't think he coaches well against other teams. Like, he has not a bad list right now. And they pay a lot of people on that list a lot of money.
Yeah.
If without merit, they would have lost an extra 2 games this year. I'm not sure how many they've won, actually.
Dylan Shields on $900,000 a year.
Dylan Shields on $900,000. You got Mackay, who's on a shitload. Redmond's on a shitload. Ridley's on too much money. And he barely can get a game out there. You've currently got Goldstein playing, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have 2 injured ruckmen, but one of them's probably gone at the end of the year, and the other one is young as fuck. I don't know. They just hate to be an Essendon supporter right now. I'm not going to lie. I know exactly some of my mates who are Essendon supporters who are like listening to this and
I'm not even
hate
like
to be
that
an Essendon
North
supporter.
Melbourne game they should have lost. They should have lost that North Melbourne game. I wanted them to as well.
I can't believe they got points for that. They walked out of that game and got points. They sang the song after that game. After that game, they went in the change rooms and sung the song.
No, yeah, you can't be singing.
You can't be singing the song. The coach should have sat him down and said, "Not singing. Like, this is like preseason games. We don't sing. No, that's a loss, boys. Yeah. Don't go home happy. No smiles."
It should have been like here. They sung after the West Coast Eagles win by 2 points. They beat West Coast and North Melbourne by a combined total of 5 points.
Yeah, they're singing the song just to remember it at this point. That's it, really. But so Chad wanted to have a day.
Chad Warner, I think he's coming back
into some action.
He's coming back, yeah. The first few rounds he was playing a lot more time forward, and I think the last couple of weeks, Dean Cox is like, yeah, okay, we'll put you back. His centre bounce attendances have skyrocketed over the last 2 or 3 weeks, so expecting him to come back in and have 25. Who
do you think's more likely to make the 8, Sydney or GWS? Because I did say last week on the episode that I don't think GWS make the 8. I kind of I think Sydney are starting to figure it out. Like, I know they got beat by Gold Coast, but they were dominating for a bit, and they're starting to have spurts that are starting to look like whatever brand of footy they are now.
I still think GWS probably are.
Yeah,
they're missing Josh Kelly and Cornelio at the moment.
Are you missing Cornelio?
Depends where you want to play him.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they're missing Cornelio. I don't think there's much you're really missing. But yeah, I agree with Kelly. They don't have many injuries. They've had actually not an awful run of injuries, have they?
Hogan didn't really do much on the weekend.
No, kick 1 goal.
Yeah.
Kick 1 goal, and yeah, I don't think I could be wrong, and maybe I'm forgetting a few people, but they don't seem to have any injuries to their great players. Like Green he was injured for a bit, so was Hogan, and they looked better then. They kind of look better towards the start of the season. They smashed the Pies. And
you know who I really thought stood up on the weekend? Aaron Cadman.
Oh my god, he actually flushed. I was watching the game and I actually placed a bet on the game.
Yeah, what was it?
With Tab Touch, you can bet on someone to kick behinds. Unbelievable market. Did not know. No one else has that. So Tab Touch, that's unreal. You can bet on behinds.
Yeah.
A bloke takes a mark for a set shot. You're happy because he's getting a set shot. But now you hope he misses it.
Yeah.
It's great. Aaron Cadman, you'll be seeing that market later this season. But I bet on him for 2 behinds, and he flushed 2 from 50, 45, 58. Yeah. He flushed them, put it 10 rows back. So as soon as you bet against him, all of a sudden he's fucking Lance Franklin. Pissed me off. Anyway, he was good. But for this one, I've gone Grundy 20+. He's playing against Goldie, and I think he'll see the opportunity to be like, I'm going to run around the whole field and just get touches, get handballs, maybe even kick a goal or 2. I would not be surprised if he pushes forward and just try to get... Cherry had 25 on Goldie. So I would not be surprised if he just roams around and tries to get a heap of the footy. And then Heaney 20+ as well. I think him and Chad are going to have a lot of disposals here. Win or lose, I think they're going to have a lot of it. I think it's going to be their type of game. No Errol, obviously still. But this is the type of opponent, like we've said, they're going to probably dominate teams that are below them on the ladder. And then lose to the teams above them. It's kind of how their season probably is going to go. I think they take a really good handle in this game. So just those two is $4.25. Grundy 20, Heaney 20. Get a fair bit of value with Grundy to have 20 disposals. But we look at... Hawthorn Talk, it is Swans win, Roberts 20+, and McInerney 15+.
McInerney's been playing well.
Swans win, you both have Swans win.
Yeah.
Every single bet is connected.
There's a link in the next one too.
Yeah, but yeah, Roberts 20+, McInerney 15+. Probably not, McInerney's probably never even looked at to bet on him, to be honest, but
no.
There you go. And what's the next? Oh, it's my one, don't worry. Yeah. Suns $2 odds, and the Dogs $1.84. Should be a good game, this one, if Doggies can get a win at Gold Coast. would be huge for them, and obviously Gold Coast want to be able to stay that have a fortress still. But the line is only 1.5. For this one, I was caught up a bit with what to do. I obviously still like getting on Kennedy for goals because I think there's value. But Gold Coast just don't allow many goals, so hitting him for goals is kind of a bit wary. Trelaw came back.
Yeah,
had 27 in his first game back, and he only played 35% centre bounce, which I'm assuming that's gradually going to go up and up.
Yeah.
Kennedy actually is probably going to be the one to lose some of that time. But he had 27 in his first game back and didn't even play many centre bounces. He averaged 31.7 last year and only didn't hit 25 plus twice.
Yeah,
so he went 25 plus only twice he didn't. I've got him 30 plus at $3.10. He averaged 31 last year. So
if he gets some midfield time.
He gets the midfield time. Like, he had 27 and didn't even have the midfield time.
Yeah.
So who's to say he's just not back to his old ways? He doesn't need to play midfield time to actually get a shitload on it. Obviously, that would help a lot. But I think $3.10 is just really good value for that. What have you got?
I've gone Bont and Rao for 20. I've gone Anderson again for 25, having a good year, averaging 28. And then I've gone Riley West and Jed Walter for anytime goal scorers at $4.
Riley West has kicked a goal every game
I think
this year?
Every game, yeah.
Yeah. He kicked on the weekend? I'm pretty sure.
I think he kicked 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, so he's kicked a goal every game this year.
Yeah.
And you're trusting your boy Walter to get a free kick 4?
Yeah.
It's a good bet. Free kick 4.
Yeah, $4 for that.
What's Hawthorn Talk got for us on that one?
Hawthorn Talk on that one. He's gone. Bont 20.
There you go.
The link.
There's the link.
He's gone Richards for 20 and Kennedy for 20 at $2. So you need Kennedy for a goal. He needs Kennedy for a 20.
Well, I don't have Kennedy for a goal in here, but I have Kennedy for a goal
last week.
Yep. No, I have him in my Mega Multi this week.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
teaser trailer there.
Richards was good.
Richards was good. Was really good.
I think that's a pretty good bet there.
It is a good bet. You just got to hope that, like I said, Trelaw doesn't take too much of Kennedy's time. But he honestly has been getting a heap of the footy no matter where they've been putting him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 20 anyway.
We've got the...
what is this called?
The Adelaide Derby.
Is that what it's called?
The Showdown.
Showdown, that's it. Yeah, the Showdown.
The
odds?
Adelaide Crows are the favourites, $1.60.
Are you surprised by that? You look surprised.
I don't think they should be that far favourites.
Yeah, I agree.
And Port Adelaide, $2.35, the line being 8.5. Yeah, I feel like it probably should be something around there.
Yeah, but
What
Adelaide...
we've seen for the Dockers Collingwood game or the Suns Western Bulldogs game, like $2 and $1.80. I don't think it's $1.60.
We also just saw Adelaide smash a team and Port get smashed.
Yeah, I know. But that was at Mars. There was lots of wind.
Yeah, that is true. Meatball did give us the report on that last week. So, what have you got?
I've gone, surprise, Connor Rozee for 25 disposals.
Wow. I could have penciled that one in earlier in the week.
Isaac Rankin for 20. And then Rochelle and Georgiadis anytime for $3.25.
Yeah, I like that. $3.25.
What do you got there?
I've got Rochelle 2+. He had 2 goals. I had him for 2 goals last week in my bet. I also had Crows 139, but Carlton got flogged. But he kicked 2 behinds very early, and I was fuming. But then he kicked 2 goals later on, so he had 4 shots on goal. I know Power love to give up big scores. Obviously, they've given up like 100 points in a lot of games this year. So again, I know he played a fair bit of midfield time actually, Rochelle, but I think he continues to have shots on goal. Especially hates Port Adelaide. So $2.80 for 2 goals. He was that's a points bet. He was $2 at Sportsbet, $2 at like Ned's, all around that mark. But $2.80, I was like, I just think that's value. Like, he's going to have 2... I can nearly guarantee he's going to have 2 shots on goal.
Yeah.
So I'm betting on him to go in. If not, he has more. So, $2.80. I've been all over Rochelle this year. Big fan of his work. So, he can't kick a set shot very well, though, but we take him anyway. Hawthorn Talk here. Is there any connection? Got Fogg for 2. You don't have that.
No.
Horn Francis for 20 and Butters for 25.
No, nothing.
No connection.
No connection in that.
Oh, that's a bad omen. That is a very... Or a good omen. This could finally be a winner.
Yeah.
But that is $2.62. I rate that. I don't know who from the Power goes on the Fog. Because you got Alias going on Thilthorpe. That has to be a given, right? Has to. And then you got Radicalia goes on Tex.
Is Brendan Zerk-Thatcher back yet? Or?
He's not stopping any of those three.
Yeah, okay.
But Fog Tree, I don't mind that. Yes, so $2.62 for that. Next game is holy shit.
Game of the round.
Game of the round. How many people do you think this has go to it? Genuinely. Like, I know it's Richmond fans at home, so you get a few there, but...
I reckon it... Oh.
But actually, what are you guessing? Like, I'm saying... West Coast fans are so loyal, though. So the ones that are in Victoria will go.
How many are in Victoria, let's be honest?
Yeah, I'm going to go 27,000. That's actually probably generous.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go around 18.
18,000?
18,000.
Sunday midday, yeah.
1 o'clock on a Sunday.
But the thing is, Richmond fans will go because they're a sniff.
That's true.
They're going to go because they're going to go, this is actually going to be a win.
Yeah.
Like, at least we know we're going to hear the song at the end of this one.
You never know.
And West Coast fans will go because they're also thinking...
Maybe
we might win
this
one.
Round.
Maybe it is game of the round. We've just convinced ourselves 50,000 people at the G.
Yeah.
40,000. 40,000. Richmond, $1.52, the shortest price that'll be all year. And then West Coast are $2.53. The line's 11.5. For this one, I've gone back to a bet I did 2 weeks ago. So we look at Jaden Short. These two teams are number one and number two for giving up uncontested ball. Like, they fucking hate defending. They both hate defending. No wonder they get scored on so much. But Jaden Short's last 2 games against the Eagles, he's had 26, and the other one he had 31. He's $4.20 to get 25 disposals, which is crazy because 3 of his last 5 games he's gotten that number. So 25 disposals at $4.20 is just value. I don't know any other way to put it. That's at Sportsbet. What else? What have you got for us?
I've gone Jacob Hopper for 25,
Mm-hmm.
Richmond to win, and Sam Layla, anytime goal scorer.
Oh, Layla.
Yeah, $2.75.
Richmond win. You know West Coast to circle in this one. Go on, this is actually one we actually could win.
When Harley Reid's getting tagged, it's not looking good for the midfield.
Yeah. Do you think would West Coast be favourites if it was over there? They would have to be.
Nah.
They'd have to be.
Nah.
They've had some good games at home.
I just don't think they've played as well as Richmond have against other teams.
Yeah, that's true. And Richmond have a win.
Yeah.
Which is, the good news. What's
Hawthorn
Talk got for us?
He's gone Liam Baker for 20, Ryan Marich for 20, and Tim Taranto for 25.
Ryan Marich having
$2.50. Yeah.
Unbelievable few weeks.
Yeah.
Since they moved him back. Well, I guess if you want to get a few touches for the West Coast, go down back. Yes, that's $2.50.
Yeah.
Keeping them safe. A few of these have got to get up.
They're short odd.
They're short odds. You just got to see more of them get up than not. And you're in the green. What have we got next? After you've absolutely just pulled your eyes out.
Yeah, we got Geelong and GWS.
You got this one. This should be an unreal
game.
I feel like this is always close.
Yeah.
Always close.
We got Geelong $1.45 favourites and GWS $2.76. The line's 14.5. I've just gone 2 legs here. Bailey Smith and Tom Green for 30 at $3.50.
Bailey Smith and Tom Green for 30.
Yeah.
Well, if there's no scoring, I guess it's going to be a shitload of disposals.
I feel like, as we've said it every game this year, pretty much Bailey Smith's probably the hardest guy to run with. In the league, just his work rate.
Yeah.
And Green is just Tom Green.
Yeah, you'd be upset finding out you have to tag Smith, Dacos, Butters. Those 3 blokes, you'd be like, this is going to be the worst day. Yeah. What odds did you get for that?
$3.50.
Yeah, that's not bad. I've also just gone another 1 leg. Lockie Ash, 25 plus disposals. $1.75 at Tab is insane. That's $1.24 at Ned's, $1.28 at Sportsbet, and $1.37 at PointsBet. You're $1.75. So if you're going to fill your multi up, make it this one. He's gone 29 plus disposals in his last 6 games. So I'm asking him to get 25 plus at $1.75. So that's literally just it. I'm just going to take my money and run. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get it. It'd be a bit stiff if he doesn't, but $1.75 is just absolutely value. I just have to take that. And we look at Hawthorn Talk. Also got Ash 25 plus. So we've got a link finally. Green 30 plus.
Yeah,
That's on yours. And then the one in the middle of us is Whitfield 25 plus. That's $2.55. And we look at the last game of the round. I low-key think North or a sniff here. North or a sniff. And we've got to shout out Kangas TV.
Marnie.
Yeah.
Down there at Kangas TV was nice enough to send me a hat at least. Don't know about Dobby.
Yeah, she said I wear mine backwards and she didn't want to send me one. Whatever. I get it. I don't say ridiculous statements about North Melbourne that don't come out true. That's the difference between me and you. You say these crazy statements about how good they're going to be.
Yeah, but I got a hat out of it.
You get our hopes up. You get our hopes up and you ruin them.
You
got a hat out of it.
I got a hat out of it, and they were respectable last week.
They were respectable.
They were the better team.
They're actually
they were the better team.
They're actually so good at being respectable.
They are, but it's got to stop soon. They have to start winning.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
I
was probably a year behind on that call, but once again, thanks to
Marnie.
Marnie from down at Kanga TV.
Thank you very much. Does some great work for Kangas.
Does
some great work.
Very involved with the club.
Yeah, gets a lot of interviews out there. So if you're a big North fan, go check that out. But we will get into our bets for the game. Brisbane are $1.13 and North are $6 odds. And I don't know why I have this feeling, but not to get their hopes up, as I just took the piss out of you for doing. But I actually think North are a sniff. I really wanted to place my bet just on North to win. I think that's more of a heart thing because I just don't want to see Brisbane win. Yeah. I'd love to just see their second loss beat a North, and there's been so many times with it being a bit iffy. But I would not be surprised if North come out this game quickly. They're up at halftime, then they lose by 30. That's kind of how I actually see the game going. But I've gone something more simple because I had too many. I had too many thoughts going through. But Simpkin 20 plus disposals also at tab. That's $1.68. Again, bit of a cowardly bet, but we take what we can. Simpkin's gone 20 plus disposals in 18 of his last 19 games. $1.68. We're basically getting $1.70 for a bloke who's hit it 18 of his last 19.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. If he does it,
as well.
And if he doesn't do it, well, that's fucking. He's hit it 18 of his last 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, $1.68 for that one. What have you got?
I've gone Harry Sheasel for 30. LDU for 25.
Cheesy ball.
And Dunks for 20, $3.60. I think Sheasel's starting to get more of that uncontested footy. LDU, I still don't know, but I trust him.
You keep hitting him.
I trust him.
You keep hitting him.
He's a big money man now, so...
Yeah, needs to live up to it.
According to Corns.
Yep. And what's Hawthorn Talk got for us?
Hawthorn Talk's got...
This is unbelievable.
Dunkley, Caleb Daniel for 20, and then he's gone Sheasel for 25 plus, so 5 under me, but still.
But you
we'll
both got dunks.
Link.
You both got dunks.
We both got Dunkley.
So you got a link and a half there.
Yeah, link and a half.
$2.05. That's short odds again. But if they win, what do you say? Not much you really can. Let's get into the mega multis. How mega have you gone this round?
It's long. It's $15.48.
Okay,
I'll give you that.
All right,
but I'm just gonna say all these names out. I'm just gonna say Jack McRae, Adam Chera, Jai Newcomb, Clayton Oliver, Jai Caldwell, Nick Martin, Bailey Dale, Tuke Miller, the Hornet, Jordan Dawson, Ryan Marrick, Finn Callahan, Max Holmes, the Suitcase, Hugh McCluggage, and Will Ashcroft, all for 20 plus disposals at $15.48.
Jesus.
There's a lot of names in there, but
one bad warm up. One bad warm up, and this bet's done. Who are you most convinced gets 20? You're just certain.
McRae. I reckon all of them get 20. To be honest, it shouldn't be that hard.
I like this. This is a change of. This is a new method.
I used to do it about 5 years ago.
Plenty for 20.
Plenty for 20.
Love it. I love that. $15.48. This is the type of bet that you would get up.
Yeah.
This is the type of bet. Plenty for 20. I love it. I can't say I dislike any of that.
It's...
Who's not getting 20 there?
I don't know.
Is Coolbell back?
Apparently.
Okay, well, if he's not, then he's just exited out, and it's plenty less for 20. But still, I have got similar odds and way less legs. A lot of these theories have come from our other bets, and I've just reduced the odd, the legs back, as you'll hear. So Treloar, I had him for 30. He's in 25 for this. Kennedy Goal was worried to hit earlier, but I can't not hit him $2.10. He kicks snags, and he's fun to watch. Short 20 plus, Lockie Ash 25 plus, and Simpkin 20 plus. So a lot of my bets from earlier. So if I have a good week, as I'm very confident I will, $4.11. It could be a big week for us because I've never been more confident in mine or your mega multis. I'm big on them.
You are?
I'm big on them.
Yeah.
That's actually my favourite bet of yours for the year. It's a $15 mega multi.
Yeah.
But we look at Hawthorn Talk, and you thought yours was big.
Yeah, this one's bigger.
It only gets bigger.
And he's done different.
Yeah.
He's done different disposals.
This is plenty for anything.
You've got to read half of them out.
So if you can give me a minute of your time. We've gone Jordan Clark 20, Crisp 15, Tracy Goal, McRae 25 plus, Amon 20, Petrarca 20, Roberts 20, Justin McInerney 15, Bont 20, Richards 20, Ben King Goal, Butters 25, Horn Francis 20, Baker 20, Marrick 20, Lynch Goal, Tom Green 25 plus, Whitfield 25 plus, Dunkley 20 plus, and Zorko 25 plus. And that comes to $55.56. It's mega. It's mega. I am worried about a few of them. I would say the biggest ones being McInerney, because I think there's just be games where he has like 6 disposals. It could just happen. Lynch Goal, that bloke's in no vein of form. They are playing West Coast.
I like the Lynch bet.
You like a Lynch Goal?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I feel like he's been playing all right in that side.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, well, I hope they all get up.
Yeah.
You know, as good as it is, it'd be. Imagine if all 3 get up this week and they've hit a $55. It'd ruin the leaderboard, but one of them, you know, one day soon, one of these big ones are going to get up and it's just going to blow it out of the water. So,
has a mega multi been won yet?
I won one of them at like $6 odds.
So it wasn't really mega.
Yeah, you said the same thing in round 1. You said not really a mega multi. You still go this shit, and then it won.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't count it as a mega multi. I'd just say it's just a multi.
Just a multi. Just an extra multi.
Just a round 1 multi.
It's $14 enough for you?
$14 is enough. I'd say anything over 10.
Anything over 10 is mega.
Respectable.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all our bets for the week. I think we're more confident going into this week. I
think I'm hitting form. I'm hitting stride.
You and Chad Warner.
Me and Chad Warner, yeah.
Hitting stride. Yeah, good to see.
Yeah, we had a bit of a bounce back last week, and I think it'll continue.
Yeah, going for green.
Yeah. Especially when my 20 plus bet hits. My 20 for 20.
20 for 20. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening this week, and hopefully we've given you some winners. We'll see you next week.